How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another one. This one, I want to talk about the harsh realities about escaping your 9 to 5. Depending on what your 9 to 5 is or was, it gives you that safety net of everything is going to be okay. Why? Because you already balance your lifestyle based on the paycheck that you're getting paid, right? But once you escape that safety net, you start to see how complicated life can get. All of a sudden, you go from being all cushy, safe, everything is fine, to all of a sudden things are happening. And it's part of any type of change in your life and in the world. It has to go through a period of chaos. Even if the chaos seems like it's going to last forever, it's temporary chaos to reorganize your life, right? So the first thing is the uncertainty of a paycheck. So if you leave your 9 to 5 and you're already used to getting, a certain type of salary, a certain type of income coming in based on certain efforts or the time that you put in, all of a sudden, if you leave that, you don't have that anymore. My mom was one that constantly would tell me, Steve, like, don't leave a job if you don't have another one lined up. But I've been like the black sheep of my family. I kind of been like the risk taker, the one that like goes against the grain or the mold. So sometimes I just leave a job without having something lined up. Just because I know for me, at least for me, I'm not saying you guys need to do this, but for me, it is sometimes way more beneficial to actually leave everything behind and just start it from scratch, or just start doing stuff the way that I think is best and just basically do it that way. But it's because if I'm still on that other job, something is going to fail. For example, to give you a complete example of this, one time I was a prep cook in Chipotle. So I used to work by USC, the University of Southern California. Right next to it, there's a little plaza. And next to like a Cold Stone Creamery ice cream shop, there's Chipotle. I used to work at that Chipotle. And at the time, I don't know if it's the reality now, but at the time, that used to be the busiest Chipotle of all of Southern California, because it was next to a college. There's so many students coming in and regular customers and all that stuff. And I was working that job, and everything was great about that job until my official 9 to 5 of production work started kicking in again. The high season started coming in again. So I started kind of like missing more days of the 9 to 5 at Chipotle. And to be honest, that was one of the jobs that I didn't want to leave because of the people. The people there were so nice and so accommodating to me and so just beautiful, amazing human beings, that I legit did not want to leave that job, even though it was completely underpaying me. But I didn't want to leave that job because of the people. Then one of the last times that I went to that job, the people of corporate were coming to that job, and they were literally firing people on the spot. Like, I remember, oh, what happened to Kelly, or what happened to Jason, or what happened to whoever. And they would tell me, oh, so they came to their shift, and then one of the corporate people was here, and they ended up dropping one napkin, or they ended up just doing one thing, just one thing that the corporate people seem, or in their eyes, they put it as like something that's like a big no-no, and they got fired on the spot. And then the dynamic, the whole culture, the whole dynamic started shifting and changing and twisting of that job. And it wasn't the same as when I got hired to work there. Then the people that were getting hired were less friendly, were more to themselves, and yeah, it was just not the best environment. And I ended up leaving that job because one, my other 9 to 5, my official 9 to 5, kicked in, and then second is because it wasn't the same. It was just everything was shifting and changing, and it was just not conducive for me to keep going on that path. Then the other uncertainty that happened is that, for example, in that job, another reason why I kept that job too is because I have really good insurance. So I was getting insurance for that job. To be honest, I got that job as a prep cook in Chipotle primarily because of the health insurance. I didn't even get it for the paycheck. I got it for the health insurance because I needed health insurance. So at the time I had like Obamacare or whatever it was that was free. And yeah, I needed something better. So yeah. So that's one of the harsh realities that I have to face now, that is like, now I'm paying out of pocket for my own insurance. Or sometimes I travel to other countries like Colombia and things like that to essentially pay out of pocket for really good health insurance, or like health benefits, see good doctors, see good dentists, see good chiropractors, etc., etc. Another harsh reality from being your own boss or escaping the 9 to 5 basically is that you now have to manage yourself. There's not someone telling you, hey, you got to wake up at this time. Hey, you got to clock out at this time. Hey, you got to finish once you hit these KPIs, these key performance indicators. No. Now you have to manage yourself. If you're working in a gig job, you have to get your butt out and start working. You have to go clock in when you need to clock in. You have to clock out when you need to clock out. You have to take care and manage yourself, like, entirely. So that's another harsh reality of a job. And the other harsh reality is that once you're in a job, there's a point where you basically have everything dialed in, and you can coast in a job a little bit more, especially once you already have the handle of it, once you have enough seniority, once you've been there for a while. But if you don't have that anymore, now everything falls under you. You can't blame no boss. You can't blame the man. You can't blame society. You have to blame yourself. So those are just a few of the harsh realities of having a job, and escaping that 9 to 5 lifestyle, that you need to readjust in your mindset and in the things that you do in order to get into that freedom lifestyle. So no matter what it is that you're grinding, we're out here in this channel grinding our way towards freedom. So make sure you subscribe if you're new here and you haven't done so. Like the video if this has helped you or has brought you any value in any way. And please comment below. What are some of the ones that I'm missing? Some of the harsh realities of having the 9 to 5 and then escaping it. Leave it in the comments below. I would really like to know. I just don't want to make this video any longer than what it is already. But yeah, I hope you found a lot of value here. Take care. Have a wonderful rest and blessed day. Bye-bye.